Same as always, my name is Colt Rusich. I am the one of the visionaries behind Post Oak Barbecue in Denver, Colorado. So, quickly, I run a successful restaurant that is set to do $4 million in sales in its fourth year. I also know all too well what it's like to be an entry level guy in restaurants, so that's kind of my shtick. And these ones, any of the ones that say boiling it down, those are going to be restaurant forward. If you're a restaurant person, entry level, all the way up to management, all the way up to owner, all the way up to, even if you run a restaurant group, there's probably something in here you'd get value out of. This one's more towards entry level employee today. This is about how to get a raise. The reason I know how to get a raise in an entry level food job is because I give them. I give them out to people. This is something I wish I had known a long time ago. I didn't know how to get a raise. I didn't know how to excel in a workplace. I knew how to work really hard, and I knew how to let my personal attributes and character defects kind of get in the way and stop me from getting promotions and things. And I definitely didn't know how to negotiate pay. I just didn't understand any of that. I think a lot of people in restaurant are people that missed a lot of that from parenting or classical mentorship. And so I just wanted to give you some really easy steps to getting a raise. The first one is going to be the exact same thing I always talk about, which is just improve your performance. Attitude, the basics, consistency, attitude, responsibility, accountability, kind of a herd that mentality of okay, cool, that's something I can work on for you. Make sure you're doing all those. If you're out there and you're thinking, man, I really want a raise, but you don't show up to work on time, get the fuck out of here. You're crazy. You don't deserve a raise. In order to get a raise at a place, you should be outperforming your competitors. It should be glaringly obvious that you are the person that deserves a raise. That's the easiest thing I can tell you. So show up on time or early. Show up prepared. Have a good attitude. Don't bring your personal shit in continuously. Ask questions about, hey man, what could I be doing better? Ask questions to learn. Make sure that you're learning as many things as you can all at once. You want to learn as much as possible quickly. If you're doing all those, great. That's awesome. The next steps are for you. The first one to getting a raise is schedule an appointment. Schedule an appointment. That's very professional. People that are professional and run a thing, they have a lot of stuff going on. So what you don't want to do is just approach them while they're already busy and say, hey, I wanted to talk to you about some stuff, and then start talking to them in a time period and or location, actual geographic location, where they don't really want to have that conversation at that time. So schedule a time. That's the big one. Hey, boss person, is there any way that I could schedule a time to talk to you in maybe the next week? I just wanted to talk about my performance and kind of my role here, and there was just some stuff I wanted to air out with you. Simple as that. The person will be very excited. You guys are all thinking that they're going to be annoyed. That's not annoying. That's the best shit to me. That's so fucking awesome when somebody's like, hey man, I wanted to talk to you. I wanted to schedule a time. It makes me feel important. Makes my time feel valued. It makes me feel like they're going to come to it a little bit more prepared, and that they actually have, thought about what they're going to ask and talk about. So schedule a time, ask the person hey, what works for you, and kind of go from there, right? That's the first step. This first step is schedule a time. Don't just go on the one-off hey man, it's bullshit. What you guys do, to be completely honest, is you don't say fucking anything. So saying anything is better than that, but once you decide you're going to say something, schedule a time. Step 2. Be prepared for that meeting, right? Now I'm going to explain to you how to prepare. You're going to think about the value that you have, attributes, things you've learned, things you've put in to the job. You're going to think about ways that you feel like you're valuable at the job. But what makes you valuable, especially to this person that might be vouching for you to get a raise, or the one actually giving you the raise, right? You want to create value. Now, I can tell you one of the easiest ways to do that, to create value, is to say, how can I do more? And don't say that you want more money for that. So during this meeting, I would say to sit down, come with something. I would either come with a notebook or a piece of paper, anything that shows that you had prepared. That's always a good sign. Have a couple bullet points written down that you wanted to talk about. And you're going to say, look, I really like this place, and I would like to move further within these walls. I just would like to go further. I'm hungry for more money, and I'm hungry for more responsibility. And then this is very important too. I don't want anything for free. Say that. I don't want anything for free. I'm not asking for charity. I'm not asking for a raise to do the same job. I want to do more. And especially if you can kind of guide it towards like, hey, is there anything that I can take onto my own personal plate that would help out the people above me in this place so that it could run a little bit more effectively, right? So, hey man, like I'm just looking to take some stuff off of everyone's plate, make this place run more effectively. Don't say anything about money yet, right? You can say the thing about you're hungry for more money, but you want to work for it. But I would just say, I'm willing to do whatever you need me to do, and I don't mind showing you that I can really do those things that you give me for a little while before we talk about maybe some sort of like compensation for it. But I just wanted you to know that I'm looking to move forward. I want to work for it. I'm going to learn and listen. I'll do what you need me to do to get that extra compensation and more responsibility. Managers love that shit. That shows that you are in it. It shows that you're in it to win it. It means you care. It also means that you're going to support them, because think about what you're saying. You're literally saying, how can I make this run smoother? That person probably already has a lot of things that's stressing them out about how the business runs. Any person that's going to go, oh man, I'll be in your corner, I'll get your back, I really want to help you out. What are some things I can do to make this place run better? That's like dream shit for management. It's like, man, then we know that you're management material. It means that you're going to hold yourself to a high standard and all that stuff. So that's pretty much it, to be completely honest with you. It's fairly simple. What they're going to do at that point is they're going to come back and negotiate with you maybe. There's a little bit of guidance needed there. If the person lowballs you or says, oh, no, we ain't got anything, we can approach that when we get there later. We can go with a no on a place. And sometimes the place isn't the place for you. And sometimes there are places where they don't really need, it's set up really streamlined and it's kind of an entry-level job. So sometimes they might say, hey, just kind of wait for a little while. And then it's up to you to make that decision. But I need you guys to know that, first off, you guys are all thinking that someone's going to walk up to you and go, hey, you know what? I've been noticing you work really hard. You need a raise. Like, that doesn't happen commonly. Now, it does at Post Oak. Like, we actually do performance reviews once every 6 months. And honestly, like, based on performance that we've been very, adequate at observing, you will get a raise based on what you've put in. That's not common, though. That's not common. And I don't want everyone to think that it should be. To be honest, like, that's an outlier. You should have to ask. Most of the people that have moved further and further have at least at one point had to say, hey, what can I do next? What can I do next to make your life easier? And then they know, after having done it already, that will come with, elevated compensation. So just get that. It's not asking for charity. Ask to do more responsibility. Ask what are your next steps within the organization. And ask how you get there. They will love that period of like having to train you, coach you, and help you get towards your goal. If they're any fucking sort of good leader, they will be all about this. So don't go into it anxious. Don't go into it nervous, right? There's nothing to be nervous about. You're literally saying, hey, I want to do more. I want to help you out. Be humble. Understand that it might take some time. The way I see most of this shit get fucked up is the person goes in, and they have that conversation, and then the management team goes, okay, cool, well, let's think about it. Let us think about how we can find a role for you that kind of fits and works. Sometimes that will get dropped off of the table. Remember, the people that are managing some shit, they have a lot going on. I have 36 employees currently. That means I got 36 people. All have personality types, kinks, quirks. things that they want. They all have these little things that make them unique and special. And as much as I would love to give a one-on-one coaching lesson to every single person, every shift that they worked, it's just not feasible. So understand, it might take some time. Be patient. If it starts to take too long, reapproach. Say, hey man, I don't want to bug you, but I just wanted to see where we're at with the conversation we had. Simple as that. Don't badger them. Don't do what most of you do, which is get a resentment and go, see, I did all the things and they're not even. It still is a raise. It's a raise and an opportunity. You're not owed anything. You're not owed anything. If the job is not the right job for you to get a promotion and move forward, then find a fucking new job. But you'll at least know. You'll at least know, man, I tried to get a promotion. It took 3 months. They never got back to me. I approached them again. It took 2 more months. They kind of dangling a carrot in front of me. It never really worked. They never really did anything for me. So if I want to move up, I might want to go somewhere else. So start there. Try that. Get some reps in of having a conversation that might be uncomfortable to you with your employer. It's not that scary, not that hard. Give it a fucking whirl. It works. It works every time, honestly. So just go ahead and give that shit a shot, and I hope that it will add some value into your fucking pocketbook, and maybe it'll get you some coaching and some guidance into being even better and moving, up into the roles that you want.